Do you know what time it is? What is up, my friends? It is Monday night. Happy President's Day to everyone. We got a full show today. We're going to talk Power Rangers. We're going to talk Captain America. And then, of course, just whatever the conversation gets us to. Gonna say hi to a couple people real quick. We got Paul. What's going on? What's up, Aries? We got the winner from the last week's live stream giveaway that we did randomly. I wonder, maybe I have something here. Maybe we can do something tonight. And we got Josh. What's going on, man? We got Nick, Austin, William. How's everyone doing tonight? Astronaut Ranger saying, what's going on, man? Happy Valentine's Day to everyone as well. So we need to go ahead and get started. I'm going to bring up our panelists. We'll have a panelist join up later on in the show, but please, everyone, welcome. She is the artist formerly known as Josh. Everybody, welcome to the stage, Jane from Toku Topics. How are you?
Hello. Thank you for having me on once again. It's been since what, Deadpool?
I think it was Deadpool. Yeah.
that I've been on. So yeah.
It's Marvel, our Marvel crew. I asked Tyler if he was going to see Cap this weekend. He said, I really don't feel like dealing with the crowds this weekend. So
fair.
We'll get the Marvel crew back together next time for sure. But we got Jane here from Toku Topics, definitely talking Marvel. Of course, we're going to talk Power Rangers just for a little bit because I can't have Jane on and not talk Power Rangers, and then not everyone just get mad at me because I didn't talk Power Rangers with Jane while she was here. So, how are things going for you?
Oh, just kind of same old. Put out a video. Go Juger started this week. The newest Sentai. So I put out a video about that the other day. Watched episode 1 yesterday. So, keeping up with the Toku stuff, all that kind of thing, and just kind of still, like I said to you before we went live, like going through the job search and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
So, update for me. I haven't talked to my. I haven't live streamed a lot since the new year. So I actually started a new position in my job in February. It was like a lateral position, but a lateral move. So it wasn't really like a big difference, but it was a difference to kind of work. So there was a lot of lack of live streams here on the channel because I was trying to get acclimated. So I had to learn all this new stuff like within a week. And so while I kept up on Instagram and Facebook, I really didn't keep up on YouTube because YouTube takes way more effort than everything else.
Absolutely. For
sure. Cutting a video is way harder than making an image. I can make an image in like 2 minutes, like a fresh, brand new image. It takes me at least 30 minutes to make a decent video for YouTube.
And it's so much easier to, like, if you're just working with a photo on your phone.
Exactly.
Than having to, like, be at the computer or whatever it may be.
Exactly. Well, I used to do a lot of things on my phone, but recently I got the Osmo Pocket. They had a bundle at Costco, almost half off, right? Ooh. And I know it was the only discount I've seen forever. And so I got one there, and so I've been playing with it. And I learned, by the way, that if you put it at the highest quality, it assumes you're making a freaking movie when you load it up to YouTube. So it literally tried to take like 6 hours to upload.
Oh no.
To upload, not even process, to upload it. And so we're not doing movie style videos anymore. Like 4K, like lower end 4K is good enough. That's where we're gonna be at.
That's what I upload at, just because it's like,
and then so we're not going through. Like I always used to put best. I used to film everything on my phone, and we're not doing that no.
You just don't need to.
So since you've been on, I think this broke like Christmas Eve. We got news of the Power Rangers reboot from Paramount, and I wanted to get your ideas on that because I know you have your opinions of Jinsaku, but this came from Daniel RPK as well. Who people have opinions just as much as Jinsaku outside of like everywhere. He's like the Jinsaku of everywhere else.
Exactly.
So like. What were your thoughts when you kind of heard this? I mean, for me, like it was a little bit like I hadn't heard this specifically, but it tracked with what I was hearing.
Yeah.
What about for you?
I think for me, so first of all, like I always love just kind of poking fun at Jin and lightheartedly, so because I get how it be, and I've met him in person. He's a cool dude.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, no, like. See, so like when Jin posts this kind of thing, it's just like, oh, okay, sure, Jin, But then when Daniel posts it, Because like I've seen a lot of his MCU like posts and such like over the years. I know he's a reputable name.
The
So
early stuff came out
yeah,
mostly
yeah,
accurate.
yeah, yeah. So like yeah, I think for me it's one of those things where like nothing about this, like if it's true or whatever, like doesn't make sense. Like it
Yeah,
would be paramount. It would. I don't know if it would be exactly everything. Obviously, there's always those details that are like not going to be quite right. But yeah, it would
yeah.
be with Paramount. It would be a full reboot. Like, not I'm not hearing anything that's like shocking to me, and that's
Right.
kind of not like the worst part about it. But like to me, it's just like because it's exactly what I would expect. It's like it's not that exciting for me. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, one day at some point, whether it's next year, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, we will get a rebooted Power Rangers movie. It's gonna happen at some point in the future, and whenever we get it, it's gonna be another Mighty Morphin reboot, and that just doesn't really excite me. But I get that that's what it would. Be. So,
It
in
has
terms
to be. It
yeah, right,
has to be.
yeah,
Like
right.
we
Like
have to start there. Like
I mean, and I fully acknowledge that
yeah.
between the movies and also like between like the Playmates toys and stuff like that. Like anything that's going to be a new version of Power Rangers or trying to revitalize it in any capacity is going to be MMPR. And I know that and I understand that, but it doesn't mean that like I'm a fan of that. you know?
Right.
But yeah, I think if it's true, cool. If it isn't, all right. Like I don't he doesn't really
Yeah.
at
I
this
would I
point.
would like to see elements. Like even if it's
Yeah.
like,
Hmm.
oh, there's a little Abba Ranger or
Yeah. Right.
Dino Thunder in there. Like just little like nods
Yeah.
maybe I would
Hmm.
be
hmm
okay. I think
Yeah.
the way they're gonna get away with it is like if the only way I can see another season coming in is they do time travel and time force.
Yeah.
Like that is the
Yeah.
only way it's gonna happen, or SPD or something like
I
that, like
think
something
one thing that
futuristic.
would maybe be cool, and who knows, because it's not like is Mighty Morphin iconic for like like in my opinion, I think it'd be cool if we try to switch it up a little bit, like maybe change like keep the dinosaurs the same, but like pink is the T-Rex or something, like
Yeah, that'd be
we
cool.
switch colors. I'm curious if like keeping the same colors with the same Zords is like part of that thing that just cannot be changed, or like could we kind of switch it up a little bit but it still is what but is a little bit switched up. Like I think if we gender bend some of the rangers and maybe swap some of the colors with their Zords around, I think that would be cool.
Well,
But
they
I don't
try
know.
to do that in the Max Landis script. That was the
That's
predecessor
true.
to
That's true. Yeah.
what we got in 2017, and
Right.
I actually liked Kimberly as a Black Ranger. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I think that'd be really cool.
I
Yeah.
don't remember if she was still Pterodactyl or Mastodon. I do not remember that part, but
Yeah.
it's been years since I've read it. But yeah, I mean, I could see them making little subtle changes.
Right.
Obviously, we'll probably see some differences because they're not going to match, Asian with colors and black with
Mm-hmm.
colors. It's just not going to be. It's
Right,
not going to
for
work in
sure.
today's climate. But the next topic that we haven't talked about since it got talked about. Well, we talked about it a little bit, but we got more. I
Hmm.
guess not information, but more teases. Is
Yes.
the reignition line from Playmates? We heard about some people who I guess, got to see it at London Toy Fair but weren't
Yeah.
allowed to say anything much
Yeah,
about
it,
it.
it was at London Toy Fair and I think German Toy Fair.
Okay. I just heard about
Um,
London.
yeah, because there was some posts from somebody. I think it was the German Toy Fair that kind of should like they named everything that they saw, but
Right.
but no pictures were taken. So
Right. So obviously we know we're getting a line of, the original six, and then we're getting villains is what they're saying. And
yes,
some of the villains we haven't gotten before.
that's right.
But I don't know. So I think we can kind of tell what these figures are going to be like by these shadows because we can actually see the articulation for the most part.
Yeah.
And we can see the ankle, we can see the knees, we see a ball
Hmm.
joint on the thighs, possibly a wrist, definitely an elbow, obviously a
Yes.
shoulder,
Right.
and then likely a head because there it looks like it's turned here.
Yeah. Everything looks to be single jointed.
The I think what will make or break it for collectors is maybe the ab joint, if there's an ab joint or not.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm gonna assume probably not.
I think so too. Yeah.
Because like Playmates, I mean, I don't know if this is going to be a $10 line or not. That's just what I'm used to for their Ninja Turtle figures, and their Ninja Turtle figures have single jointed elbows and knees, but they have no and ball jointed heads, but no waist articulation. So I'm
I
kind of
can't tell if
expecting
the wrist has articulation on this. Like, kind of looks like here, but then you
May
go to
yeah,
here.
maybe. It is tricky. We
The
can tell
proportions
that the not that this matters, but the blade blasters are only going to be the blaster mode because we can see the handle sticking out in the holster.
reminiscent of 93 for sure.
Yeah.
It's not even look like the right shape for the blade blaster, for it to actually fit in there correctly. But
No, yeah.
I mean, these proportions when I first saw them, they looked really a lot like the Legacy.
They make me think of the kind of a mixture between so that those sort of retro creations of the flip heads that Hasbro did that were like a little bit
Oh,
more
the big bulky
articulated.
ones. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They make me think of like the articulation of that and like going for that sort of reminiscent of the 90s flip head style, but
Mhm.
also like they also make me think of like the Beast Morphers or Dino Fury basic figure lines in terms of
Right.
like
Although
body
this Blue
sculpting.
Ranger looks buff. I don't know if that's
He
just me.
does. He does. Yeah. Yeah.
There's no neck. Why is there never a neck on Green Ranger? Like, I don't know what. Why do they always do that? Like,
Green's holster is bothering me. It's like too wide. Like I don't know. I don't know.
oh, I see what you're saying.
I don't know. Something's weird about. Like I can't tell if it's just because like I assume the drag or no, he's holding the dragon dagger because you can see the
Yeah,
point sticking out. See, I don't know. Yeah, that doesn't look good.
because we saw that in the. Let's see
Yeah.
this first one. We can see
Yeah. Right.
the Dragon Dagger right here.
Right.
I just hope it's black. The holster. They always mess that
Yeah,
up.
I hope it's black and I hope that it's Morpher's gold because those are two
Oh yeah,
things that
and the
get messed up a
actual
lot.
Green Ranger coin in it.
Yeah. Right.
Because we'll always get like for some reason we always get like the Pink Ranger coin with the Green Ranger or Pink
Yeah.
Ranger with the Green Ranger coin. Like that's a thing.
Yeah.
That's a real thing that happens all
It
the time.
does. It does
And the Red
happen.
Ranger helmet actually looking right. Like
I
that.
feel like hopefully they'll I don't know. I mean, I would say that hopefully they'd get it right, but then you saw like, the Bandai Japan Tyranno Ranger figure and that looks how it
Not
looks.
only
So
that, but like it just goes back to 93. It is
no, it
never
does. It's
it has
yeah.
never been right. I think the one time it's been right was SH Figure Arts. And then the
Even
last,
yeah,
the
yeah.
metallic on Red Ranger was, oh no, it wasn't
Yep.
even metallic was first. It was the gender swap. Red
Oh, that's
Ranger
right.
was the
Yep.
first correct one, and then it
Yep.
was a metallic, and
Yeah.
then it was like we can't just get a proper Red
Yep.
Ranger helmet.
It's a tricky one for some reason, but
I
yeah.
don't know why. I wonder if it because it has those little ridges on along the eyes. That's got to be it.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. It's just a lot of time. Some of them throughout history have been like pretty good, just like painted wrong. But
Right.
it's usually the sculpt on them that they just can't seem to get the shape.
I have no idea what it is,
No,
but
it's weird.
so I mean, it's coming.
This week or no, 2 weeks from now,
2 weeks from now we'll get the first look
or something like that. Yeah,
at
because it's at New York Toy Fair.
New York Toy Fair. Yeah,
Yeah,
that'll be that. I know they sent a lot of us things, but none of us actually want to go to New York. So
yeah. I did get an email.
and also I don't know. We'll just wait on Twitter for someone to post it, and and
Yep.
we'll see it from there. But I mean,
Yep.
we're kind of. I think everyone is more hyped up than the people actually making the videos on this because we kind of know what we're gonna get, and everyone assumes. I think the thing is the education. I've been trying to educate people like this is going to be a basic
Yeah.
toy line,
Right.
and
Right.
everybody's like, when we're getting a helmet, I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't expect it. When we get in black and yellow, I was like, maybe we get masks. Like maybe
Yeah,
get like the Halloween mask.
I keep seeing people on Facebook be like, "So when are they resuming the Lightning collection?" I'm
Yeah.
like, They're not.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you."
I think that's one of my videos I started. This is not Lightning Collection Reborn. I
No,
literally said that. So
right.
you messed with me on Twitter about this. I didn't know what was going on, and you just put like half of his helmet on.
I did.
And I was
Yeah.
like, what the heck was going on? And so I was already making a video and I was like, Josh is probably trolling us, but I'm going to put this up here. This could possibly be Playmates, but I don't know. I said, I do not know. I said in the video, if anything, our Josh Jane is trolling us and he's just messing around with us and don't, but this is a picture, but don't like treat it as fact. And then I should have never done that. But anyways, like the next video, I was like, this is the Go Juger,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah, no,
it's
my bad. Everyone was clowning on it that night, and so
it
I
was
just thought,
trash, dude.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like I'm like because I'm getting more familiar with Go Juger, like I'm
right,
entering that on my For You page. So
right.
like I still have to differentiate like what you guys are
Yeah.
talking about.
No, for sure.
But yeah, this is bad. And then I saw this on someone put this like in a so I got like 3 or 4 messages like one morning, like a Saturday or Sunday morning. They're like,
Mhm.
they sent me this image. They're like, look at the new Playmates figure. I was like, this isn't Playmates. Like, and like I'm not even
Yeah.
joking. I was like, it was coming in one after the other, and I was like, what the heck? And I get onto my personal account because obviously I'm on a bunch of groups on my personal account. I see
Right.
like someone posted like this is the Playmates, and I'm like, what?
Yeah,
No. So
it was
like,
this really unfortunate game of telephone because it just
yeah,
happened that Bandai officially revealed this figure and
yeah,
Playmates started teasing theirs at like the exact time. So I
yeah,
totally see where the confusion happened because like
yeah.
um if anything that kind of speaks worse to the quality of this figure that people thought wholeheartedly like yeah that would make sense for what the Playmates ones would look like.
But just so you guys know in the chat, if you want this horrendous figure for Americans, it's $50. So like,
Well, that depends on where you get it. I mean, yeah, I guess if you factor in the shipping.
yeah.
I think the
So
actual retail price for it is like closer to like 20-ish.
yeah, even 20 is too much, bro.
But
This
no,
is
I
like
agree, I agree.
this is
And
Dollar General, man.
there
Like
was a yeah, we got the toy listings for the second quarter of Go Juger
I
last week.
saw that.
And so Shinken Red and Gal Red are joining this line.
Do they look
So
better than this? Did you see it? Or do we have
we
pictures
don't
yet?
have pictures of them. We just know we
Okay.
just have confirmation that those are coming. But
Yeah, this looks so bad. It's just I think
yeah,
it's the neck. The neck is just like
it's to me, one thing that really bothers me is the joints being white, so you can see it through like on the
oh,
knees,
okay, okay.
and you know, like that stands out. And it took me a long time. I was looking at the legs, and I'm like, "What is so wrong with these?" And it's the fact that there's no diamonds on the
Yep.
boots.
Yep. And
It
then
took me
the
it took
really long crotch also.
yeah, it took me a while to like. I was like, "Something's wrong about the boots."
You're
I
right.
can't. Yeah, but then once I noticed it, I was like, "Oh, that's it."
And apparently there's no paint on the back of the figure because
No, you can see the belt stops halfway there.
so
Uh,
real quick, we're just gonna go over the comics real quick. What are your I went into depth on this, especially with
mhm.
Deoxy as well. But what are your thoughts on the Power Rangers Prime new look?
So, I've been kind of as with any of the Boom Studios comics, I'm laughably behind on reading them, but I try to keep up to date mostly with the paperbacks as they come out. So I
Oh
haven't
yeah.
got anything for Prime yet. But I've been seeing people talk about it. I really am a fan of those. I think it's different artists each time, but those covers that are going in season order that have like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
those variant covers. I think those look
Mhm.
sweet. So yeah, so I've seen this. I've seen this whole Prime Ranger team. I've seen pictures of like their identities and who
Yeah.
they're supposed to be and stuff like that. Yeah, I think the suits look cool. I don't understand why we're calling the one a Pink Ranger when it's very purple in me. But
I think they said it's an inking issue. So
is
they
that
did
what it is?
say,
Okay,
yeah. So
okay.
this is original art. I didn't put up the other art. But
Because
you
I
can see
saw
like the print
Melissa
you see
Flores talk
here.
about it being pink, and I'm like, that's not
Yeah.
pink.
Yeah,
But
because this is clearly pink here, right? And then
yeah,
we
yeah,
get over here, and that's really purple.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think they lightened it here. This was the newest cover that just
That
came out.
one, I'm starting to see it more as pink,
Yeah.
right?
And
But
that's Orion.
yes, yeah, I thought that was cool.
I think that's
Um,
cool too. I don't think Orion's that interesting of a character.
and
Um,
that's kind of why he's a great choice for something like this. Kind of
I
add more
absolutely.
to it.
I actually he's one of the characters because I actually don't. I'm behind an
Mhm.
issue on Prime. I actually am not
Mhm.
liking Prime very much.
Okay,
Just because there's no Power Rangers in it yet. Like literally,
fair. Okay, fair.
there's been one page of a Power Ranger, and
They're
so
what
that was
4 issues in? Is that how
I
many have
know
been out?
there are 3 issues in, but
3 issues.
admittedly, I've
Okay.
not read the third issue just because I had to go out of town for work, and I just
Hmm.
like skipped the video, and I was like, I'll just wait till 4 comes out and I'll review them together. But um, he's probably one of the characters. I actually do like Lauren. I like
Yeah.
Lauren's character. I just wish they were
Hmm.
focusing more on it. But
Yeah.
Orion's much more interesting than he was in the show. Like I think in the show he's just like he's there. You know what I mean? Like
Right. Right. Yeah.
he fills the helmet sort of thing. So
Exactly.
not to
Exactly.
take Hasbro's own words out of their head, but I mean, I do dig the VR Troopers being there. I just wish it was
I
a more proper crossover, but
Yeah, I've not
I
seen this
definitely
one
appreciate
before
it.
actually, this piece of art, so this is cool.
This came out today. This came out
Okay,
today.
well, that's why I haven't seen it. So,
Yep, came
yeah,
out
that
today.
looks cool.
I am way too ahead on some things. I'm not gonna say. You know, I gotta admit, it's pretty cool when people are saying that they're learning news from me. Like that
Oh, yeah, yeah,
actually
yeah.
is a really big compliment because I've had some people say like I hear you before I hear IGN or
Yeah, yeah,
comicbook.com.
Legit had not seen this art until like 5 seconds ago. So
I think it gives you a better look at some of the other, like especially Black Ranger here. I
Mhm.
think that's more clearly a snake that we couldn't see.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely did
Couldn't
not.
tell before.
Yeah,
We knew Blue was a unicorn,
right.
but we didn't really get a good like front profile, so we can see that more there.
I
But I
like
think
I do like the suits. And this is not just a problem with these suits. You can say this with a lot of original Power Rangers designs that we've had. And I get it. I just wish they weren't so Mighty Morphin like
yeah,
inspired. Like I wish they were just a little bit more unique.
I see a lot in them though. But I see
Yeah,
this, and I see Dino Thunder. I
I get
see
Omega Ranger vibes with the gold like
yeah
lines on
even
the.
yeah even I would even say Draken a little bit too, right?
Yeah, yep.
So Dino Charge I can see with the helmets a little bit right
I do
here.
like the coins on the chest. I always thought that looked cool in the
I always
90s, and it was never
yes.
canon.
Nobody
So.
ever liked that, and I love that. And everyone's like, it didn't look like the show. I was like, I don't care. I wish it was in the show. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Like,
liked it on the 95 movie suits, and I liked it here.
absolutely, man.
Yeah.
That was one of my because I always thought that was so cool because the
Yeah.
original American art. It was the American art that did that.
The thing that I didn't like about them on the original toys is just because I wanted the toys to look like the show, but I
Right.
didn't hate the concept of the coin being there.
I like it, and
Yeah.
I like you said, like the movie it was an actual like coin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Mm-hmm.
So we're getting to our Captain America. We're going to do our Captain America review. And because we're doing our Captain America review, we need the #1 movie reviewer in San Antonio in Texas. Everybody welcome Ryan from Alamo City Movie. What's going on, man?
What's up, man? How y'all doing today?
Doing good. Yeah, man. Nice. How you been doing, man?
Oh, I've been doing good, man. Appreciate the intro, brother. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate the love and everything. And I got to admit to you, man, the #1 Facebook, myself including, I always see a lot of news. It's always you first before IGN, before comic book news. So, man, you're #1 on Facebook and Instagram. You're
it, dude. I'm trying to keep up. It's funny because it's like I have a job. You know what I mean? Like, you know, so
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
It's like, you know, everybody's like, when do you have time to do that? And it's like, if I go to the bathroom, I'm like, I use my time efficiently. That's what I'm doing right now. So, but Ryan being on has been a long time coming. We've been, I've known you since my Countdown days. So that's how we met when I was on Countdown. He is a big presence here in San Antonio, the Alamo City, Texas, and he's starting to get more nationally recognized. You telling me you get invited to premieres and
man,
dude's in it, dude, man. So
New York and LA, it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
That's awesome.
I'm truly humble and blessed because of the fact that I was chasing movies and now it's the other way around, and I'm truly blessed of that. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Yeah. Congrats.
I love it. So, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
I'm gonna warn everyone in the chat.
Spoilers.
The reviews. Okay. First off, this is a full spoiler review. So if you haven't seen the movie, I'm sorry. We're gonna talk about everything. But I'll be honest, like, I don't think there's a lot of like things to spoil about this movie. But so
if
I
you've
think
seen any of the marketing, then no.
Yeah, but it's the story points that you may want to know, or character development that we're gonna.
Spoil. Villain is kind of hinted, but not really. I mean,
yeah.
I think one spoil, but we're gonna show it in this.
Cool.
The actual look of the villain. So
okay.
But Ryan is a critic. He's a recognized critic. So sometimes he's not a fan of Eternals. I'm not gonna say that. He's not a fan of Eternals.
No. I'm actually a big fan of Eternals.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen him go in on movies before. So I'm just gonna say right now, I've always seen him like rip them apart. So if you guys are sensitive to some things, this may not be your shit.
Thank you for that. And if you do like stuff like that, be sure to check out my other stuff too as well. But no, for sure. But
he gives it its fair due. He gives it fair ratings. One thing I can say is when Ryan taught me, it was by one thing he said is something I always remember. Like, I think we were getting mad about like where we're sitting in the theater. Remember, we were like, this is stupid. Like, what they were supposed to like, we were being divas, right? And I was being a diva, and he was just like, he was like, the movie can take you out of it, and I was just like, man, you ass. Like, he's like, the movie can fix everything, and I was just like,
do you remember what movie that was? By the way,
that was Iron Claw.
Yes, it was, and it changed my complete mood after seeing that movie, and I was just like, and if anyone has seen that movie, it's like, Yeah, I thought I had problems. No, just like if anyone to see that movie, yes, yeah,
yes,
but yeah.
That was just like, oh my god. But okay, we'll get back on Captain America because we can go down a whole Iron Claw road. But all right, actually, I'm going to start with you, Ryan. So, what we'll start with first impressions, and then we'll go into detail. What were your first impressions of seeing this full spoiler review? Everyone in the chat,
Spoilers. Okay.
Spoilers. Go.
Okay. All right. Coming into this in 2025, an MCU movie, this movie had, knowing the background behind it, they've had continuous reshoots above normal. This movie's been through a lot. The previous CEO, Bob Chapek, and everything. So you have to take that however you will, but take it with a grain of salt. But that is the facts here behind it. Now, after seeing this movie and everything, I gotta admit though, there's a lot of scenes where you can tell they reshot it, and I hate knowing that. For one, two, one of the things I did appreciate was Sam Wilson in here. Anthony Mackie. He's a caliber actor. I enjoyed him in this movie. I enjoyed Harrison Ford in this movie. I enjoyed those two leads and everything, and even other characters, which will go in the spoilers. But the main leads here, of course, and then we saw Danny as well in here playing the other Falcon, I guess, so to speak, or the other sidekick. They haven't really titled him a name, which I don't understand, but whatever. I guess he's Captain America and then Falcon, right? I believe.
Yeah, his Hasbro figure says Falcon, so I'll go.
There you go. Yeah, go with it. So, one of the things I really did enjoy about this movie was the action sequence. There's a few action sequences with the Hulk. We saw that in the trailer, the Red Hulk. That was really good. I thought that was brought to life, really, really magical and everything. And starting off in the MCU in this movie, I gotta admit, the story is garbage. I did not like the story. I mean, it felt more, and again, I don't know if I'm spoiling it, but it felt more like the Incredible Hulk sequel than a Captain America movie. And I hate knowing that because it's like there's a lot of connections in here, and I feel like the MCU was just closing up loose ends on certain other movies that connect to it, like the Incredible Hulk and the Eternals. It kind of touches up on it, kind of not really, but it kind of just ties up the loose ends, if you will. And I didn't like that. I kind of wanted Sam to have his own movie, like for instance, he had his own good show. It was okay. But if people who have not seen the show, he takes on a journey of his own. And I want to see that more in this one. The only thing I'm going to sum it up real quick, because I know we're going to talk about full spoilers, because I want to know what you guys think. Sum it up real quick, and so far I've been saying it on social media and everything, is this movie would have been a lot better, in my opinion. Call me crazy. This movie would have been a lot better without the Red Hulk. I think it could have been a Tom Clancy movie in a sense, to where it really relies on that government. I know we got a little bit of it in Winter Soldier and everything, but it would have been really good to start up that, because he's like Harrison Ford. He's the president. He plays that character so well, and he shows that emotional grasp of like not trusting superheroes, attacking the superheroes. We see that a lot throughout the MCU, this character. And so I really would have cherished it a lot more if there was no connection really to what do you call it, like just no connection really to that Red Hulk. I think this movie would have been a little bit better on that government conspiracy aspect, and I really wish they would have gone that route. But that's just my opinion of it. But overall, it's good. It's a good, solid film. But am I going to tell you, yeah, you should go see this movie right now in theaters because it's your last $15 to go see it? I'm going to say no. I'll leave it at that.
Fair.
What about you, Jen?
Yeah. So yeah, going into this movie, I had seen a lot of, because I follow all of the leaks and rumors stuff for the MCU. So I knew about all the reshoots and how, like these characters were in it, these characters are taken out. This Happy Meal toy from a year ago has this character that's not in the movie, all this kind of stuff. And so it just always seemed like, I saw some of the critic reviews once the embargo lifted last week and everything. And I'm just like, yeah, this is certainly interesting how this is all being put together. So going into that with the mindset, definitely, of knowing that it was kind of sort of, stapled together and like kind of paper clipped together at the end here, definitely I think impacted my viewpoint of the film. I think it kind of helped me be a little more critical and less critical at the same time, because like I understand that a lot of things were out of this film's control with how it came together. So like I can cut it some slack, but then at the same time, if it was really bad, they could have just probably delayed it or whatever. But I'm glad that they just got it out. And I think for what it is, I think some people are really blowing it out of proportion on calling it like it's one of the worst MCU films ever. It's
Right.
or it's not. It's really not. It's
not Ant-Man and Quantumanium.
No, it's not. It's definitely not. Like I had a good time with it. There was certainly parts of the film that I liked more than others. Certain parts that lost me a little bit. I personally, I liked the Red Hulk in it, but I agree with what you said, to where I think I would have kept Ross in the film, but not have him be Red Hulk. I think the way I would have done it personally is because I really like Giancarlo Esposito, and I liked him in this film, and I think it would have been cool to kind of focus on him and the Serpent Society more as sort of the antagonists of the film, because I thought that'd be kind of cool to sort of give Sam a kind of Hydra-esque organization to kind of come into his own as Captain America to fight like Steve had, and then also with Thunderbolts being the next film, and how the MCU seemingly isn't really going to connect the fact that the Thunderbolts are kind of sort of named after Ross or whatever. I think it would have been kind of cool to maybe have Red Hulk be the antagonist of that film. Kind of have the seeds for Red Hulk set up here and then paid off in Thunderbolts, especially since the films are coming out so close to each other and everything. So that's how I probably would have done it. But I thought it was fun. It was a film that really, honestly, I thought was going to be worse than it was from how everybody was complaining about it. And I'm not hard to please. I knew going into it that like the movie would have to do some like really stupid stuff for me to be like, yep, that was bad. I thought it was perfectly fine.
I guess, I can see. So we've been kind of tracking this movie since it was announced, right? So, and this movie was really targeted by people like at inception.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because it's Sam Wilson as Captain America, and that can be for any reason, whether you only want Steve Rogers, or you don't like Sam Wilson, the character, or you don't like a black person being Captain America. Whatever the reason is, movie was very, very targeted. So going into that, I obviously I see my comments when I cover things like Captain America and see what people's opinions, whether it be fair or really ugly or good or whatever. So I kind of went into the movie and like Jane, like you said, like I saw a lot of the early stuff saying like it was really bad. The testing screenings had gone really bad. So I think I went into a movie like expecting a really bad movie. And when I came out of it, when it was ended, I was just like, I think I was more confused because it wasn't a really bad movie. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I was like, that was pretty good. Like I had fun watching that. Even my wife was there with me. And she was like, that was pretty good. And I heard people in the theater with me go, huh, that was pretty good. And it was just like people were kind of confused because we've all been hearing that it was going to be really bad, right? And so
what's really bad is that green screen. That's really bad.
But even I mean, there's totally things in it that I'm like, okay,
signed off on that.
But I think it was pleasing to the eye still at the same time. That is like when you're like nitpicking, right? So that's like when you get into it. But obviously,
there was moments that like I genuinely chuckled and laughed and stuff. That it wasn't like I was laughing at the film; I was laughing with it. And there was moments I was like, yeah, that was a great fight scene, or that was a cool moment, and yeah, I mean, there was a lot more to like about this than to not like.
Well, what I didn't like, I felt like the action scenes were very like we had the big action scene, the climax, right? Like on what they call them, like Celestial Island that's what they're calling it. But I think leading up to that, we really had a lot. Like there wasn't a lot of action in it. It was a lot of like fighting for 2 seconds and then talk. You know what I mean?
They were quick.
Well, the Indian, I think it was the Indian Ocean fight scene. That was really good though.
That was really
good. The jet what do you call it? The jet fight, or however you want to call it, the jet fight. I thought that was really good. I really enjoyed this. I thought it was going to be a little bit worse because I was like, oh God, here comes. I was trying to guess when the green screen is because I saw reports about it. I was like, oh God, it's not this. Okay, thank God. And then it's very noticeable. I mean, it just, again, you already said, it's nitpicking, right? Whatever. But I mean,
I do think we needed one other at least 5-6 minute action scene, and I don't think we got that, right? Like we had the one at the very beginning. It was like a skirmish, kind of started how like Winter Soldier kind of started with them fighting on the boat, but this one they're fighting at the, I guess, like a castle or something. And I don't know what that was, but overall, I want to say overall, I had I enjoyed the movie and I liked it, right? So
Nice.
I do see your points about the Red Hulk. And what I've seen is a lot of complaints, people saying that there's not enough Red Hulk, right? And I actually told my wife that I was like, I heard a lot of people complain there's not a lot of Red Hulk, and she's like, well, it's not a Hulk movie. I was like, okay, like I guess that's true, right? And I see your points.
For me,
Go ahead.
I think for me, it's not so much that there wasn't that much Red Hulk in the film. I think it is the thing that kind of bothered me about it is the fact that the marketing showed pretty much all of his scenes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if somebody could probably edit together like all the TV spots and trailers and stuff, and you will probably have like 75% of Red Hulk's screen time.
Yeah, full Red Hulk. I think it's like 10 minutes. On without him transforming and everything, because we do see that a little bit kind of progress in the film and everything. But yeah, I agree. It felt to me watching the trailers and everything. Now after watching the movie, I'm all like, well, that's all Red Hulk. The impressionation was that like I thought it was gonna be a lot more bigger role, if you will, or longer.
Well, it's like because the movie, the way that it's structured to get
like even
to
that poster.
Yeah, right. Like to get
that's not even in the movie.
Right, it's not. I think this is artwork. This is fan art.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was about to say, damn you. I
think what it is that, and I mean, you can say this about a lot of films, where the marketing sort of spoils things or whatever. Right. And so it's not really a complaint towards the film, but the film, as you're watching it and it builds up what Stern's plan is and like what like the part where Ross like almost starts transforming on Air Force One but doesn't or whatever. The film's building to the Red Hulk like you don't know if that's what's gonna happen.
Right.
And then when it happens, the movie is like it kind of treats it like, whoa, did you expect Red Hulk? And it's
yeah,
I did.
Yeah.
I do, and I think the thing is, okay, we can get into this a little bit, and we'll start like kind of like now we can start nitpicking, right? So one of the big things we're talking about the reshoots is the leader. Now this image to the left here, that is official art. Yeah, that was official promo art that we got for the leader. The leader was initially going to look like that. So
have you seen the Funko Pop?
I have seen the Funko Pop. And so it everything looks like this. Now this is what we're expecting. Now I was like, okay, well, he has the big head. Like, I'm okay. This is obviously what we're seeing here, Incredible Hulk, here at the beginning. Mm-hmm. And then here on the bottom, this is what he looked like. And I have to be careful because I don't know what we're streaming on Facebook. So I don't know. They don't like. One time I got in trouble because you remember when the Deadpool or Wolverine cut off Sabretooth's head? And I posted a picture of Ryan Reynolds holding the fake head and Facebook got mad at me. And they thought it was real. Yeah. So I'm being careful because I don't want to show like organs. So but this is basically what the leader looks like. You can Google on Twitter, X, or anywhere, and you can get a full what it looks like. It's pretty hideous actually. What it came out to. I don't know what I actually prefer. I think I was looking for something more in the middle. And to give you more an idea, like a lot of us that grew up on the leader, he looks like this. Like this is what he looks like for a lot of us. Now he looks like this in different versions as well. We've seen him. I think this was original. And then what he may look like now. So, but this is what we saw in the cartoon, the Incredible Hulk, during the whole Fox Kids era.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty damn good.
Good every iterations. So when I saw this image, I was just like, I mean, could he wear a little bit of orange? That was my only nitpick of that first little thing. I was like, can you wear the orange suit? You know what I mean? Like,
I was just like broccoli on his head. That's
because right now he looks like Hector Hammond from.
I just like I want to know what happened.
So I don't know either, and I don't know why the decision was made. Maybe they thought this looked too goofy or too kiddie. I don't know. But it's clearly what's happening here at the top, right? So
yeah, like I agree with what you said of like I think the ideal design would be somewhere in the middle,
right?
Like but I infinitely prefer the original concept art, official art, whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. I really just do not get it. I'm very confused as to like we have the Funko Pop and there's like T-shirts with this design and stuff on it. Like clear, like obviously at some point this is what was going to happen, and I don't get how, or I don't even like. I want to know also like when did that change? Like I'm just curious when how far they got in.
To be honest, I would probably guess just the previous CEO who was running Disney and everything. It's just a lot of this I think it's this and Daredevil that's why they had to reshoot Daredevil all over again because of him. So this was the last of Chapek's era at Disney and everything. I really followed that through and everything just because of the fact that he was very more money versus putting more money into creators and art people. And so like whatever's cheap, it's just whatever works and everything. But yeah, I don't know who approved that. They tried to save it, I mean, as much as they could and everything. I mean, the one thing that shocks me though is that we get these storytelling. We've been over 10 years of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and
almost 20 years at this point.
Yeah. And so like you get 5 screenplay writers to write this movie. That's a huge concern. Like that's got so many different opinions. And granted, when you talk about reviews like us, it's different, right? So when you go into the writing room, it's totally different. You get too many people's ideas. Does anyone even know the comic book? I mean, you don't even have to know the comic book version of, or like the comic book knowledge of it in a way. You just have to learn, the template. There's already a template there. Marvel's been making great movies. There's already a template already set. There's already that storytelling set already. So you can go back to like Winter Soldier. You go back to Captain America, the first Avenger. You can even go back to Thor, the original 4 movies that, that really created this cinematic universe and storytelling. That's why I was just like, why did the storytelling just felt empty and it didn't feel like done to me. It was just like, wow, this is it. And it wasn't surprising. It wasn't shocking.
It felt like, so this was the 35th MCU film. So we've definitely gone through a lot. And to me, it felt like a case of a movie. Well, we know it's a case of a movie that was changed constantly, as we've been talking about. And it really feels like, because after it's already had gotten a couple of delays through its production timeline. So it really feels like the movie is as done as it's gonna get. We kind of we have to get it out there now because we have to move on. We cannot keep delaying this. We have to focus on Fantastic Four, Avengers.
Anthony Mackie deserved a better movie. I'll say that.
He did.
He deserved a better movie. He really did. And I'll leave it at that.
And you said this earlier too when you were giving your review. Like, he certainly gave it his all. One of the best parts of this film for sure. Always been one of the best parts of the MCU. I always love seeing him in the role.
I think Mackie's an excellent actor.
Him and Harrison Ford talking is just so damn good. I love that dialogue between them two. It just, it's so. I mean, I just kept seeing. It made me want to rewatch that film that came out a while ago. It was Air Force One, where he's the president. That movie. Gary Oldman plays the Russian spy, and Harrison Ford he just kills it. Every single, he really goes above and beyond and everything. And then I do want to shed light to, of course, one of my favorite characters, which I think was a miswritten, misused, or whatever you want to call it. I felt like that he had a lot more to give than what was given to him. I really wanted to see more of him on camera. Was Isaiah's character. Dude, his character was so damn good. I was like,
have you read the comic?
No.
It's Red, Black, and Blue, I think it's called. It's where they introduce Isaiah's character. It is really good. It's really sad.
Okay.
But and they're treating that as canon. So basically, I don't know if you know this. I'm sure you know the overall story, but like he was, he was a test subject. Because they didn't want to hurt Steve. So they were using him as literally a guinea pig. They didn't even use guinea pigs. They used him instead. They used actually a team of people a black unit of people to become Captain America, and they all came out different ways, but he was the one that came out the most appealing, right? Like he looked like a person. Some other ones had got a big head, some of them got a big arm, just kind of different
deformity.
Things. But they were still they still used him. He was the last one of that crew that was alive, and he was basically the success, right? So and what they did to him in the comics, actually, he's more of a Muhammad Ali. Like that version of the super syndrome. Super soldier syndrome actually degraded his mind, so he can understand everything, but he can't talk and stuff like that. So it's kind of treated like that. But the character is really, really good. I think the actor, like you said, was really, really good. I did see a report that said that they originally had Patriot going to be in that, which is his grandson,
which we saw in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Right. So that's oh my god, I can't even think. His name is not Isaiah. It's I can't think of his name at the moment. But Eli, that's it. Eli. So he was supposed to be in it early on, but they felt they had too many things going on, which I don't know. I think he would have been like just standing around. I think that would have been fine.
Sure.
Like,
Especially
or
because if we're gonna throw him presumably into Young Avengers someday,
right,
we need to really start giving those characters more screen time.
right. So and
But
he
yeah,
actually,
I think for me, I really liked Isaiah's character in Falcon Winter Soldier a lot, and it kind of gave us a lot of that backstory that you just mentioned, or at
yeah,
least like it's like
it
parts
talks
of it.
about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Loved
and
it. Yeah.
I feel like I really liked him in the show, but for the movie, I feel like I really wish that he had got more screen time because
Mhm.
while I know Marvel wants you to have seen Falcon and Winter Soldier going into this, like I don't feel like there's going to be a lot of people who haven't, because a lot of people just skip the Disney Plus shows entirely or don't
right.
or have heard that mixed reviews on them or whatever it may be. So I feel like if you were to go into this movie without having seen Falcon and Winter Soldier, which you totally can do, you're kind of doing yourself a disservice because I feel like you're not going to get to really appreciate Isaiah as much of a character
Right.
as you do having seen the show, because the movie literally had him on his own in a cell for most of it, so we didn't really get to have a lot of him, and that was a shame.
Now, one of the disappointments I think for me in this movie was Giancarlo Esposito's character Sidewinder. I think he is totally this is like not a good fit for him. He deserves something much bigger.
I want to know what, because when he was cast in the reshoots and he was talking about this character,
big announcement and all this stuff. I was
and
like,
he said numerous times throughout all of the interviews of it, he said that this character he's playing in this movie would go on and appear in a Disney Plus show afterward.
Right.
And I'm like, where?
Wait, what?
I don't know. Like
my guess is Ironheart. So
well,
I think
I don't know, maybe.
I think Ironheart's the last of the last Disney CEO stuff that's coming out.
Yeah, it's just
because
so
I think
like when
he
said that,
he had
like,
Wanda.
I don't know who fighting.
Was it? He had Agatha. Like all these shows that would probably have never come out under the other CEO. That I think that's the last one there, and you can clearly tell like they've been pushing that off forever, releasing it.
Oh,
and so,
yeah. Right.
And they're just going to release it like quickly and just be done with it and then release something else. So,
yeah.
But like I said, like I think he's just misused here. Like he did great.
Yeah.
Like I think that scene where he's all chained and walking around with Captain America, and they're talking about everything that he knows from the Serpent Society and the leader and stuff like that. Like that was great. That's what he does great. Like that was amazing because he's good at that. But like I don't know, Magneto would have been so much cooler, or like Professor X would have been so much cooler. I don't know.
It's cool to see him in the MCU. He's one of my favorite actors. Love like pretty much every character he plays, and it was just cool to see him. But yeah, I wish he had gotten to do more.
I mean, I agree. He should have played a bigger character. I mean, the X-Men is still. I mean, I know everyone's all like, "Oh, X-Men's gonna get cast." They haven't even written the script yet, guys. Let's get the facts here. They haven't even written the script yet. Kevin Feige is like dodging those questions every now and then. Like he does not want to talk about it because he essentially, I'll be honest, they probably don't even know what to do with it yet.
They don't.
And to me,
or they haven't released, or at least they haven't settled on something yet.
Yeah, exactly. And like to me too, it's I feel like Marvel's more excited. They were just ready to get this movie done. I feel like they're more excited for Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four. That's what it just feels like with me. I just feel like because Thunderbolts, I mean, they premiered Thunderbolts, Superman in front of this right before the movie started and everything, and then of course Fantastic Four. And so I just I mean, I feel like that this movie could have been a little bit more better and everything. And then of course one thing that was that my wife did mention that she was all like, yeah, they'd even use her character was the Black Widow, the other Black Widow. I forgot her name. Ruth. There you go. Yeah, Ruth. And I was just one of the things I'm gonna nitpick here. Again, I'm nitpicking. Sorry, I'm nitpicking.
No.
The combat fight scenes are just shit. I'm sorry. They are just. It's so much slow motion. It goes so like. I mean, we're used to like seeing these clean cutscenes with Captain America, Steve Rogers, or Black Widow, and even John Wick. We see these different kind of fight styles here and everything. I mean, even Rush Hour. I was watching Rush Hour the other day. The fight scenes are so damn good. Like, I mean, again, that's Jackie Chan, Chris Tucker, whatever, right? That comes with experience. I get that, but a lot of the fight scenes felt unbelievable in my sense, and I don't know. I was like, okay, that's it. Like, it just, you have to remember, yes, it's a movie, but two, it's a Marvel movie that has been going on for so long, and it's just like, you would think it keeps getting better and better and better and better. Maybe once in a while we'll have a bad movie like Ant-Man and Quantumania, and then we go back up. So, I mean, the same person that I would not be surprised. The same person who approved MODOK is approved this one. So that's that guy's. Hopefully, that guy. I mean, I don't wish anyone to get fired, but come on, that's a little bit of a at least a demotion. At least.
Well, there was a lot of controversy about this character for Ruth Bader. I mean, it was more so about the character itself because I think the character is Israeli and the whole
that didn't make any sense. Yeah,
but they were. So I don't think Marvel's ever worried about that. Because I don't sense like they were ever really going to lean to the Israeli thing.
No, I don't think it was going to be that big of a thing.
I cannot see where this got cut at all in reshoots or anything like that. I don't think that was ever her thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like her thing was always she was going to be an ex-widow. That was what her thing was going to be.
I mean, some things got cut because like this.
I don't think this got cut because they never got worried about this. What?
No, but like even with her, like because like this suit that you have this picture of.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point.
That's not in the movie.
You are right. Yeah, that's the official poster. It's not fan art.
Yeah, and she has that suit on in the McDonald's Happy Meal toy from last year. So clearly that was going to happen at some point. But yeah,
I missed the McDonald's Happy Meal toys. I don't know where I was, but
yeah, it had like Red Hulk. It had her in this suit and everything, and then it had a character named a villain Diamondback.
Oh yeah, so we got
Diamondback. Yeah, had like a suit Rosa and everything. And, and just not in the movie.
She got cut from the movie.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins got cut from the movie.
I think he was supposed to be some member of the Serpent Society.
Yeah. I almost want to see how bad was this movie. Release the original cut. Like, I'm kind of curious exactly. Like, maybe Disney Plus will be like special edition, the full unedited cut of.
Yeah, I mean, it's like undeniable completely how
they did an interview with Seth Rollins on. I listened to Chris Valet because I'm also into wrestling too. So. He was on there and he was talking about like, are you going to be in this Captain America? And he's like, I'm not in it. And they're like, but you shot a lot. He's like, I was in the first version of it. And he's like, and this version, I'm not in it. And he basically insinuates like he got replaced completely by Giancarlo. Like that's what it seemed like. Yeah. But he also makes it sound like the version that we weren't getting, like had a lot of stuff that we didn't.
Are we supposed to imply from that he was playing Sidewinder or he was just?
I don't think he was gonna be Sidewinder, but I think he was going to be adjacent. So
I remember when he was cast that they said he was going to be playing someone.
I feel like Society. I think he was supposed to be like. I think it doesn't sound right. Maybe Copper. I think that's DC.
Okay.
I couldn't. I'm not really familiar with the Serpent Society other than Diamondback, but like. And I just know that it's like a Captain America thing that they go like AIM sort of thing like as well.
It's kind of like it's like a smaller Hydra offshoot kind of thing, sort of.
I think it is an offshoot of Hydra. Actually.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense.
Hydra. Yeah. But so yeah, like he got cut. He really insinuated there's a different cut of this movie out there that exists.
Oh, clearly, yeah. I'm so.
That he obviously prefers because he's in it. And they kind of even asked him like, well, now that you're not tied to this character anymore, any chance you go into Marvel? And he's just like, I like to wrestle. And like, so whatever happened there,
damn. He just go to DC, go to James Gunn. That's all I'm saying. Go to James Gunn.
He kind of like joked around about that, but like, I think he's like, I don't want to deal with Marvel.
I mean, I don't blame him.
Anymore.
I don't blame him either. It's because they're
do something get cut.
But I mean, but he went probably in an era where they're getting rid of a lot of people of the previous administration, if you will, and it was kind of revamping, and they really are trying to come back. They really are. They are. They still are and everything. And a lot of people were saying, well, Marvel is slowly coming back. And I'll say yes, but it's not fully back yet as far as the quality of it and everything. But I mean, we'll see when does Daredevil come out? March, right?
March 4th.
Yeah, March 4th.
Yeah.
I think so, March 4th. Nice. So Joaquin Torres, Danny Ramirez, I absolutely love this character.
Well, I think what a lot of people need to remember too is that this movie, and obviously we talked so much about the reshoots. This movie started shooting before the strike started.
Right.
So like this is like the last film or it should be the last film from that era of Disney leadership. So going forward, we should expect a quality increase. This was like the last film of that. So
film. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not the last project, but the next film was Thunderbolts.
That was Iger back in charge? Well,
I'm pretty sure he was. It was post. They started shooting it post.
The last one is technically Daredevil. The last one. The last two.
Okay. But that
Daredevil
we
and
did that completely. Yeah.
Daredevil and Ironheart would be the last JPEG things.
Okay.
And then one of the things, going back to what you said, but when you said a while back, because I was like thinking about it, I was like, man, they really tried. And I saw a lot of news articles before the even movie got released, was that they were saying Captain America is not America or some crap like that. And I was just like, yeah, I remember. And I was like, no, he's just saying like, he was just like, whether we believe it or not, I mean, this character doesn't exist in real life, but they were pushing making it a little bit of political a little bit. And I was just like, why? Has nothing to do
it was
with...
going to be impossible for that to not.
Yeah. And I was just
I think that came from Mackie, because he was at a Comic-Con and they were asking him like what Captain America meant to him, and he basically
it was a live Q&A. That's what it was.
He kind of said something to the effect like, he's Captain America, but he doesn't necessarily like represent America in every way possible, right? And I think what he was getting at, what he was getting out there, like, he doesn't, Captain America is, it's a symbol, right? But it's a symbol for everything that is righteous and fair and honorable, right?
It's not America exclusively.
There's a lot of things in America that are not fair, honorable, and righteous, right? So I think that's what he was alluding to. But people were like, well, no, he just doesn't like America. And I'm like, no, he didn't say that. He didn't say that at all.
No, yeah, exactly.
In fact, he said he's a proud American. Like, but I think it's just, and I think it's a lot of it is like,
they just didn't read the full article. They don't read the full article. They just read the headliner, like I read it. It's just
they
like,
read. It's
Captain America. It's not America no more.
Fox News is not doing that. It's like Newsmax and like these other ones that are going like just all in.
Yeah, I actually saw it on IGN and comic book news before I didn't even see. And then I saw WOAI did like one post of it real quick, but like I was like, what do
you'll see like 50 articles and headlines before you ever see a clip of it.
So when I saw it, I actually saw someone that actually clipped the entire transcript. And so everything he said, and then I think some news articles took like this and did this, like literally like did that thing.
I just saw the clip on X of what he said. It was real quick. Like the question was, they asked him a question, and then it was him just saying it real quick, and then that was it. Which is fine, because when you really watch it, he doesn't seem like upset or nothing. He seems very genuine. He seems like
he's actually way calmer than he's usually.
That's all. Just like
he gets mad. He tells people to shut up. Like
so true.
He's actually kind of an ass, man. Like, but he was actually like kind of like okay.
He just you can tell.
To me, he just made it seem like, to me it was just going on the comic book basis, is that anyone could take the Captain America mantle. Like it's a it's a shield. It's like Batman all over again. It's anyone can wear the crown. It doesn't matter. It could be Bruce Wayne, could be anybody.
And to argue the point, Steve Rogers was the same exact way. Like that's the same exact thing.
Exactly. Right. But because
that's always been the point of the character.
Yeah, because he's black and but going back to what you said earlier too, on the Falcon and Winter Soldier, if you haven't seen that series, I guess you kind of got a fast rewind, if you will, when Steve Rogers, again, I don't think Marvel set up the way it was set up. Again, my opinion, the way, going back to the basis of Endgame, I don't think Marvel set up Anthony Mackie's character to really justify carrying the mantle, in my opinion, because it was just real quick. He was just older. Steve Rogers was like, all right, here you go. Like it didn't feel to me, it wasn't a good setup. It was just simple. Here you go. Right. Here's the mantle, and I guess I could see why people would get upset, because the way it was done in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and everything, because it's not comic book based or whatever, but it's still, I mean, I get it, and then I don't. I'm just like, get over it. He's the new Captain America. It's just like, like
I think they were really trying to convey in Falcon Winter Soldier, like the struggle. How do I say this? It's not gonna be politically correct. So like when it comes to like me and you, Ryan, like everything that we've had to do a little bit harder than everybody else, right? So, and it's because me and you are Mexicano. Jane's going to have her own issues with her transition coming up as well, like going forward, right? And I think they were trying, that series was trying to like recognize like this isn't going to be easy for Sam. And it was almost like saying like he's going to be Captain America, but not everyone's going to accept him as Captain America because of that he's black. And that was the whole point of Falcon and Winter Soldier. And it's funny because that was the whole point, and we're getting to where we are now, and audiences aren't accepting him as Captain America because he is black. Like we're still dealing with what we did in the series. Like
Yeah, I think I'm going into that, I feel like that, yes, I think you're right. At the same time though, when we talk about comic books and everything, as far as a leader goes, as Captain America, because they did ask him, you need you to lead the Avengers, get the Avengers together. We need you to get I don't see him as the leader again. This is because of the fact that originally it did come out. I mean, originally they did have, rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. They wanted him to carry the Avengers as a helm, as the new. So they already planned Steve Rogers and Robert Downey Jr. or those characters, Iron Man and Captain America, to really pass on the mantle, if you will, to Wakanda, or to Black Panther and everything. And so I get the pressure because of the fact that under the circumstances that did happen and everything, that so there wasn't really a relay for that. So like it's I think they're still trying to find out their identity of who's an Avenger. Who's still an Avenger? Yeah.
The thing that's worrying for me is that I forget who I saw bring it up because I've been watching a couple of different reviews and such of the movie over the weekend, like I do whenever these come out. And the fact that we're about 15-ish months away from Avengers Doomsday coming out, if it doesn't get delayed, and because it's supposed to start shooting in London in March, and it's like, I'm excited for Secret Wars and Doomsday, of course, but it's like, guys, I don't think we're ready for an Avengers movie, like in a story capacity. Like,
yes,
it's gonna be rushed.
So far as we know,
they have a lot to do.
Yeah, I mean, Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I mean, there will be things like Fantastic Four, of course, help set the ground for that. But like, it's not that I can't see Anthony Mackie leading the Avengers, because I can, just not yet. And it's like,
I just don't.
That's fair. That's totally fair.
Yeah.
I just feel like we haven't gotten enough time with him, which is kind of tricky, because it's like, like Chris
we only
Evans,
got one movie with Tony Stark, and then we got
we only had one Chris Evans movie before he
but I mean, but Tony Stark, it was 2 movies, wasn't it? I mean, it was like
Tony had 2
movies, and then everyone likes to disregard the third one, but I mean, it was 2 movies, and then but again, he was the start of the MCU, so it's just
right.
a lot of it really comes down to
what you said sums it up perfectly, where you said, like, who is an Avenger, and it's like, that's a great question. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I can name a bunch of characters that I think would be in the movie, but I don't know who they're gonna go with.
So I want to skip to over here the transformation. I love this transformation. I love that we're back to like, this hurts. Like this I miss this. I miss the like I loved it when it happened, but I'm tired of it now. I'm always angry. Like I that was cool when it happened. Now it's like, no, I want my Bill Bixby, Lou Ferrigno painful stuff going back on. And I absolutely love this. I know, like you guys,
be like a horror kind of thing. It should be like, this is a terrifying thing happening. Yeah,
exactly. As far as Red Hulk, everything that I saw with this whole scene, I loved it. Like, I absolutely loved it. I loved the Savage Hulk look. He looked absolutely amazing.
Yeah, love everything.
The look. I feel like right now, like, he's the strongest Hulk in the MCU. Like, by no one can even touch him. I don't feel at all, right? So he is just pure rage, and that's the thing. Hulk is anger, but we're getting this is just rage. You know what I mean? Right. Now I know this is completely different from the comics, because I did read the comics. I've read a lot of comics, and in the comics,
you did not read the comics. I'm just kidding.
Thunderbolt wanted to be the Red Hulk. He literally made himself the Red Hulk so he could go beat Banner, right? Like, here he's basically tricked into being the Hulk because he wanted heart pills, and which I thought was
like
really
one of his last ditch efforts in his like vendetta against the Hulk, basically.
Right. And now this was like, he was over it, because this whole movie was about like, I just want Betty to talk to me. This whole movie was about like, I am president and I'm trying to make things better, so Betty believes that I'm a better person, which I like. That's sweet. I get it. And I do think they've actually set this up for the last Thunderbolt, like everything Ross has been in. I think this is a good setup, because he is like messed everything up until we're getting here, and like, he's actually trying to make things right. I also like the little, call, because we know that William Hurt passed away, and it kind of like, we saw Thunderbolts in Black Widow, and he looked very sickly, because William Hurt was very sick at that point. So it makes more sense. Like, he was sick, he was trying to get better, and this is how he get better. I'm okay with all that. I'm okay. I don't need it to be a complete transaction from the comics to the movies. I just need
I don't either. Yeah,
I just need the spirit of it. That's all all I ask for is the spirit of it. Now, what did you? I mean, I know we're talking about like this felt like Incredible Hulk 2 to you guys, and it's like it would have been better maybe if the Hulk wasn't in it. But what did you like? What you saw of the Hulk?
Yeah, I like we said, I like the look of it. I've always just thought the Red Hulk was a cool concept. And so, the entire time we had William Hurt as the character, just anytime we had the character in the MCU, I was like, yeah, it'd be cool to one day get to this point. And so I'm glad that we did. I just really, I wish that it was longer. I wish that we had, like, I know we had that partial transformation earlier that I was talking about that I liked. And I kind of wish that we had like a brief full transformation before just the final battle or something.
Mhm.
And I don't really even know what I would have wanted out of it. I just wanted some more out of it, but I am happy with what we got. I liked the fight. I thought it was cool how they were actually able to convince me that Sam could put up some sort of a fight against Red Hulk, because like I liked him using the wings to stab him, and like the Wakanda blast effect with the kinetic energy and stuff like that. So like that was all really clever ways to fight him, because it's like, if we don't have Red Hulk fighting the Hulk, I need to be able to believe that whoever is fighting him like stands even like a 1% chance of fighting him.
I just didn't know why they didn't use Isaiah to help him. That was just a missed opportunity, because it just I think with the way that, because Sam Wilson doesn't technically have superpowers, and I get some of the stuff was he's human. This is human versus Hulk. Like what the hell? Like this, he has no chance.
It should have been like Sam, Isaiah, and Danny against him.
Yeah, that would have been good. That would have been better. Listen, Marvel, that would have been a lot better.
I mean, Cap had Falcon, Black Widow, and himself for Winter Soldier.
I just thought of the Red Hulk story due to where it fits in, where he could not control the Red Hulk. It was like trying to come out, and he was trying to be good, but the Red Hulk had a mind of its own and was like
almost and stuff.
Like almost like just taking over him, and just he had no control, and he was trying to get help, and then let that progress into the end.
I don't know if they want to do a Jekyll and Hyde thing again, though. I think that's what they're trying to avoid.
I think that's fair.
And then so connecting to the Incredible Hulk, I'm gonna cause a lot of mayhem right here, because Edward Norton is my favorite Hulk. I know everyone's like, what, that Mark Ruffalo is a good actor. I enjoy him, but you cannot deny Academy Award winner Edward Norton, who just a fantastic job. I mean, I loved him I love the Incredible Hulk. The Incredible Hulk is my favorite Hulk movie.
I'm glad that you said that, because honestly, I will always defend Incredible Hulk, as I think it gets way too much hate. I think that like I'm not out here saying like, yeah, it's in my top 5 MCU films or anything like that. Because but I really do enjoy that film. I've always enjoyed that film. And I always hated that because of like rights issues with Universal, and also the reception to the film, that a lot of it never really got followed up on in the MCU. So that is any Incredible Hulk aspect of this film I really did like, because I always wanted to get a sequel to it, and this is the closest we're going to get to that. But I totally understand why people don't want a Captain America movie to actually be an Incredible Hulk sequel featuring Captain America. I get that.
I think it would have left fans more confused if Edward Norton showed up at the very end. Like, I mean, come on. Hey, this is excuse my language. This is Marvel. You did this to your fucking self. This is the fucking multiverse. Anything could fucking happen. Like anything. You could bring another Hulk from another world, another 6126, whatever world, Earth. I mean, looking at Fantastic Four, like I feel like that they're kind of trying to push Fantastic Four maybe to be the new Avengers assemble team, I guess. Because the way he's connecting the multiverse and everything,
that brings me to the end credits. Do we all agree this was the worst end credits of any Marvel hero?
Pointless.
No, I don't agree that it was the worst one.
What do you really? There's one that comes to mind.
What's the worst one? Yeah, what's the worst? I'm kind of curious.
Okay, well, first let me say this. I would say that I did not like it as an end credit scene, because I think it should have been a mid credit scene. I think for what it was, waiting all the way to the end was kind of like, okay, that's it. But for a mid credits thing, I don't think it was the worst. I get why people don't like it, because it was just like, oh, okay,
it was just talking.
Right. I think
personally, we know Doomsday's coming. Like we know.
Actually, you know what? Honestly, And this kind of goes across for a couple different post-credit scenes. I personally have never liked when the post-credit scenes were just straight up scenes from a future project. I've always would prefer them to be a unique thing. You know, like if I'm waiting for us, like, you know, let's say I didn't like the Loki season 2 clip at the end of Quantumania. I didn't really care for the scene from what was it? The scene from Civil War at the end of Ant-Man. Like, I want something new for a post-credit scene and not just like a, you know, scene that I'm gonna see in a different project. I don't know.
Right. Was it Captain America, the first Avenger, the end credit scene showing the Avengers clips?
That was like, yeah. And then there was like a trailer for the Avengers. Yeah,
right.
I don't even think we got that.
That was cool.
Avengers.
Yeah.
I actually
that was
cool because he ran out and
yeah. But yeah, I didn't.
I forgot they said. I forgot the whole they used to like clip the next movie.
Yeah, I mean they've only done it a couple times, and I've just never been a fan.
I think it was Captain America where they did it actually.
Yeah.
Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
No, Winter Soldier had the setup of Scarlet
Witch. Yeah. Where Hydra, because Hydra's over now, and like you see the scientist, which was again another misfire. I was excited for him.
Ant-Man had the one where Winter Soldier was in the clamp.
Yep, and that was just a scene from Civil War.
Okay, I'm trying to remember which one that was from. Okay.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to talk about what did you guys think about them saying that adamantium is now stronger than the vibranium?
I think the way that they introduced it as like
from the Celestial.
I think that's really cool. And it's a great way to introduce it and explain why we had never heard of this metal before. Like, you know, like why has no one talked about it before? You know, I mean, obviously we know why, because like with rights issues with X-Men and stuff, like that's obviously why. But yeah, within the universe, I think this is a really cool way to set it up.
Then this inadvertently makes Wolverine the most strongest weapon.
I guess that it would. Yeah.
In the MCU.
I'm just kidding.
I mean, he's now nothing can destroy him.
That's true.
Other than other adamantium.
That is true.
But now there's a lot of adamantium. That's a lot of adamantium. I mean, that's a lot.
Right.
So I guess anybody could.
And I feel like it might lead up to like other because I mean we know it's been here for so many years. So like now it brings up the question, what else are they going to try to do now? You know,
who else got their hands on this?
Yeah, exactly. Like who stole it from who? You know, because they're going to make deals. People, it's a very story setup, and I feel like that's probably one of the things I really did like was the fact that we're
totally going to see like a Sidewinder kind of villain show up and he's like, I got this adamantium sword or something, you know, like I got it from the Celestial or whatever.
Andy Serkis' character, like he just shows up. Oh yeah, I got this hat. I was like, he's still alive. I was kidding. Oh man, he's gonna be still selling weapons.
Right.
Yeah,
I don't even know what he can do. Like it's just maybe he's Armor Wars. Maybe he's Armor Wars with Don Cheadle.
That's not happening.
Is that still even happening? I don't even.
He just made a comment. Don Cheadle made a comment at I think this premiere maybe, and he said it's still happening. There's no more. It's a Blade issue now, so it's kind of like we don't know.
It's not going to happen.
They just don't know where to slot it into this.
I just don't. I mean, Blade's a whole nother issue. I'm just like, what the hell? Dude?
Yeah.
Like, you have so much going, whatever. But I mean, I'm not gonna get into Blade, but staying on topic on this movie. But yeah, we go back to where, like I said, templates. We've seen storytelling done very well. Believe what you want on Eternals. Everyone's all like, it's one of the worst MCU. I don't think it's one of the worst.
Eternals reminds me of Watchmen.
Yeah, like it's one of the it's beautifully shot. Like everything.
I really like Eternals. I really do.
Like it's.
I think we all expect because we were marketed. This is again marketing issue. We were all marketed that Eternals was a superhero action movie, and it wasn't. It was a more emotional, tragic movie.
Dramatic.
And once you get past that, I think it becomes better because you're not expecting the action all the time. Because even the action at the end is kind of like, I mean, it's all right. But like, I think the better now when I look back at it, the better parts were like, oh, I see, Icarus going through that here now, kind of like, kind of like almost like like who done it kind of movie sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I think it makes it a little bit better for that. Although I still haven't watched it full 2 times yet, and just because it's long. But
I actually did just rewatch it last year because my mom had never seen it.
Oh, nice.
And so I was like, and I hadn't seen it at the time I hadn't seen it since I saw it in theaters. So yeah, I watched it like a year ago, and I was like, yeah, I like this.
I think it'd be better the second watch if I gave it like a full watch. I haven't watched it
It's probably like if I had to lay out all the films, it's probably like it's somewhere in the middle for me in terms of like MCU quality.
That brings us to the future, which is the next one. Big one is Thunderbolts.
Yep.
What I'm seeing, I'm actually really enjoying from Thunderbolts, and I don't know. I guess I see a lot of different comments on my different socials when I post things about Thunderbolts, like, oh, this is another flop and this and that. But what do you guys?
Oh, one thing I thought was kind of funny. Speaking of Thunderbolts, because we got the new trailer at the Super Bowl, and they played that trailer in front of this. It's a very minor detail, but I saw some people pointing it out on Twitter before Cap came out. So the Thunderbolts trailer, like the first shot we see of Bucky, you see he's wearing a little pin that says,
I posted this yesterday.
Yeah, member of U.S. Congress or whatever.
Yeah,
and then in this movie, he's running for Congress. I'm like, they kind of spoiled that he will be.
Well, not only this, I posted that, like, there's a Congress pin, and I was like, that means he was elected to Congress. And I put in my post, this dude killed Kennedy, and you guys elected him.
I keep forgetting about that. In that world. Oh my god, I forgot about that.
I mean, and not even to mention that, but like he killed like the Starks and everything.
Right. It wasn't him. It was the Russian. The Hydra. It was Hydra. Hell, Hydra. That's what it was.
Just like it's one of those like. Okay.
Oh, and
ignore this again. We go back to where the writing. We go back to storytelling. It just, I completely agree. I completely agree with you there, though. But it was actually pretty cool seeing Bucky, though, in this movie.
It was a good point. It was a good point to put him in too.
I like how Sebastian Stan was like, "Yeah, I'm not in Cap 4." I'm like,
I mean, what, 5 minutes maybe he was in there? Like, he's in and out real quick, and I still enjoyed it.
It was a little banter, like, so your speechwriters wrote that? You're like, yeah. How'd you think about it? Like, I was like,
I didn't need him to be in the movie a ton, but I'm glad he had at least a scene because it would have been weird if he wasn't in this movie somewhere.
Right.
True.
So I do want to go over one real quick. This box office thing, because a lot of people are like, I got this on my comments, was that any Marvel movie, this is the only Marvel movie to not hit 100,000. Therefore, it's a box office flop. Although it's going to hit 100,000 with the President's Day.
Or 100 million, you mean?
Or 100 million. It's 100 million. So we're gonna look. This is our re-releases. So the Marvels at the lowest with 46. The Incredible Hulk, which everyone says that they love, is at 55. Ant-Man, which was comfortably in phase 2, is 57. Captain America, the first one, 65. Thor, 65. Eternal, 71. Shang-Chi, 75. Now Shang-Chi is COVID, so that has a little bit.
That's cool. Yeah,
right.
Ant-Man the Wasp, 75. Black Widow, 80. And Black Widow's COVID. Also.
A lot of these are
Black Widow was I'm sorry to interrupt. Black Widow was same day release on streaming.
That's right.
Because Chapek, he wanted same day.
Well, when I say COVID, I mean, that was the issue. I guess those issues were there. We got
some of these are tricky because you got to think about, because there's so many factors that factor in, because you also got to think about, like, Ant-Man and the Wasp came out right after Infinity War. It was the first one after, you got to think of not only what the film is, what year it came out, and then you got to think about the films that came out around it to really.
Well, look at here. I mean, Far From Home.
Yep.
That is post Endgame, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right after Endgame.
That was the first movie after. No, was it Ant-Man?
No, it was.
No. It was Spider-Man. It was Spider-Man.
This is the first movie. This is what should have been the biggest one here.
It was the epilogue to phase 3. Yeah.
We got Guardians of the Galaxy. Winter Soldier was only at 95. Like, it's not even that far off, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's right now. It's in. Oh, I guess this is not the rank right here, but we're like comfortably in the top third of the movies for Captain America: Brave New World. So I don't know where people are getting. I mean, again, it's just the fitting the narrative to fit what you're saying, right? But like, obviously, nothing's going to touch Endgame. No Way Home is. I mean, that was just an event in itself, right? But like,
I wonder how much it's the fact that we only got one MCU film in 2024 and it was an R-rated one. Which I know that it did incredibly well, but I'm wondering how much. I mean, because this is the first traditional MCU film, I guess you would say since the Marvels.
I think what they're comparing it to, they're really comparing when it talks to budget. They're really comparing it because I did hear that the total cost of it with marketing and everything was around $380 million total. If that's accurate, I don't know if that's accurate.
380 million to break even.
Okay.
It's the break even point. So there's the budget and there's the marketing and then the toys and then everything.
So I really don't think that movie's gonna break even. I mean, I don't see it.
It could be close maybe, but yeah, it's not going to turn much of a profit if it does turn a profit at all.
It just matters this coming weekend with how much of a drop, just like because there's really no movies coming out this week. I'm sad to say, but there's no big big studio releases this coming week because they're getting ready for the Oscars that's coming out. So they're doing movies are re-showing a lot of the best picture that are nominees and everything. So they're re-showing those movies. So because of that, and it's a slow week for movies this week. So just there's no official national release date. I think besides The Monkey, but everyone's already seen that last week. So
to go on your point about breaking even, right? So Disney is notorious for saying that basically they lose money on everything else but the theme parks, right? And they're okay with that. Now, if we're saying that 380 million is the break-even point for Captain America, right? And it has one of the lowest budgets of any recent Marvel movie, probably since Phase 2, right? So we're looking at Guardians of the Galaxy didn't break even. Lifetime gross right here. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 didn't break even. You know what I mean? So like all these great movies, Iron Man 2.
Guardians 3. I mean, what year did it come out?
Guardians 3 was in 2024, right?
2023.
2023. Yeah. So it was right. I mean, one could argue COVID recovery still, I guess, or however you want to say it. I mean, it just.
So, well, my point is there's 35 movies here, right?
Yeah.
And we're saying 380 million is the break even point for Captain America, right? So anything right here, only 15 movies have broken even in the MCU.
Oh, I got what you're saying now.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's So why are we worried? I guess that's my point. That I was trying to say.
I think it's because just people they want to find something to complain about.
I think that's what it is. So
I think it's because of the fact that we got another Disney release movie that's coming out and does not look good. That cost over $300 million, which is Snow White that's coming out.
That's right.
And it looks so bad. Like it looks bad, but I think people are really going to compare because at the end of the day, it's still Disney technically. So it's just like, they're going to be like, man, I don't think that movie's going to make any money whatsoever. But on a side note, I think Stitch is going to make a shitload of money.
Their live action remakes have really made a lot. So who knows?
Yeah. But they're like a hit or miss. I don't know about the live
Some
action.
of them are.
Yeah.
Some of them are.
Yeah,
some like even really pop off for some reason.
Surprising that what movie surprised me a lot, of course, was Mufasa. Like Mufasa is not in my point of opinion, it's not a great movie. I think the movie would have been a lot better without a musical, and but it just, I was very surprised how much of a growth it kept going up slowly, and I was just like, what the heck? But then again, you gotta look at the time frame. It was when kids were out of school. They're like, let's go to the movies. What can we go see? Your kids. And the grandparents are, well, let's go see. We already know the Lion King. We already know it. We know that genre. We know it's Disney. So
exactly, it was like one of their like
it's a brand
bets.
It's a brand. And then
I had a lot of fun with Mufasa. I'll admit I saw Sonic first because I'm more of a fan of Sonic than I am of Lion King. But I enjoyed Mufasa. I had a lot of fun with it. I enjoyed Mufasa more than I enjoyed the first live action Lion King.
That's fair.
Oh wow! Okay.
I thought it had more story to it. I think the other Lion King, it's hard not to compare it to the cartoon, right? The anime.
Yeah.
And the live action remake things, they've never appealed to me. So like,
the Jungle Book was really good.
I have heard that one's pretty good. Yeah, I don't know.
That was the first one.
The whole thing of it.
Yeah,
it's not for me.
So I would say, as far as live action goes, I would say Cinderella is the best one in my opinion. I really enjoyed Cinderella, the live action. I think that one was really good. Aladdin was okay. I didn't. And then
Aladdin has our Pink Ranger, so we have to like it.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah,
not only that, but she's one of those she's like Becky G. Like she's just gotten bigger since she left.
That's very true.
She killed it in that original song, and it's funny too because everyone's all like, "Well, that's not original in the comics. That's not original in the Latin." Well, no one complained about it. I'm saying that, and because she killed it. She killed it in that role, but yeah,
I don't think I've seen Cinderella.
No,
maybe I have.
Oh,
I don't. I don't. Maybe I don't remember it. You know what? Who was the stepsister in it? There was only two stepsisters or one.
Yeah, no, there's two stepsisters.
Then maybe I don't remember it.
Yeah, no, if
I
you
remember Beauty
haven't,
and the Beast.
that's what you need to watch on Disney Plus right now. Cinderella is a fantastic movie.
Our house has nothing on but Sesame Street right now.
Oh, okay, gotcha. There you go.
I'm actually okay with it because Sesame Street is a big upgrade.
Oh man, Elmo hits right here, man. Elmo, man.
Dude,
Oh my
I've seen
god,
that song with
dude.
the baby every day. Letter of the day. Clap,
Yeah.
clap.
See, Disney just needs to hire the Sesame Street writers to go
They
into
did at one point. They were working very closely together at one point, I want to say.
Yeah, but it's like apples to oranges.
Sesame Street is no longer on Max. Max ended Sesame Street's contract.
Yeah,
so who never knows? Yeah. Disney could come and pick them up. It's a
Is
possibility.
it on is it on any other streaming service or no?
Not currently.
No. I don't even know if they're on Max anymore at all. I think their contract is done. They're not making any more Sesame Street episodes, but the idea is they're going to go back to PBS or they're going to find a new buyer. Like someone's going to pick them up. The question
for sure. Yeah,
it's the brand's not going for years. Yeah, it's been. I mean, what was Warner Brothers, right? It was there for a long time.
Yeah, I need to find that if there's a
yeah. So did it? Yeah, that's my wife actually. So Elmo actually had a late show that I fucking loved. It was so damn good.
I need to find it now.
Oh, dude, you need to watch it. Oh my god! But it's like it's for like kids, but at the same time, it's like adult humor. And you get it because they pick adult actors to be in here, right? Just like regular actors, and it's so deep, and they have these like they have this like joking spirit. It's almost like Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy Fallon even comes on there if I'm not mistaken. Like dude, it's so great, and I'm just like, wow, that show. It was so great good when we were watching it. Yeah, it was. Fantastic, and I just don't know. I don't know what happened to it. I really don't. I don't know what happened to it.
Sesame Street is one of those things I don't not mind when it's on. Like it doesn't bother me. I love that
it's lasted so long and been a classic for a reason.
The only problem I have with it is that I'm realizing now why it's a big deal every time there's a new Sesame Street toy. Because there's not a lot of them. And my kid now has all of them they made in the last 10 years. So like
oh wow. How many toys do they make like once a year or what?
We have 15 toys we have 15 Sesame Street toys and they're all in this house right now.
Oh, and but do they make them like every other year or what? Or
I don't know. I'm just learning this right now because I tried to get something for her for Valentine's and I couldn't find anything. So I'm bent because I went to Walgreens and I found a little stuffy and I was like, okay, cool. Like I'll get her this because there's gotta be millions of these, right?
Yeah.
I think
I'm done. We collected them all. Like, you know what I mean? Like I have nothing else to get her. So now I'm screwed because now I have nothing for her birthday. I have nothing for her, like so, but I'm learning now why Tickle Me Elmo was such a big deal. But
I mean, you can always go to SeaWorld. I think they have Sesame stuff.
They're not on right now. Sesame Street they don't have a Sesame Street show right now.
Oh, okay.
In San Antonio, we have SeaWorld, so but they don't have a current one on right now.
Oh, gotcha.
I know. Okay. We already thought of that.
You already thought that too, right? You're like, yeah. I was just like, damn, and yeah.
We're trying to do anything that can get her entertained and tired. That's what we're trying to do.
That's always the goal.
There you go.
We went totally off topic, guys, but I have to say, let's do overall opinions of Brave New World. Ryan, we'll start with you.
Yeah. So this movie, I really expected a little bit more, but at the same time, though, we got an okay story. I'm really interested to see more Anthony Mackie really progress as Captain America and everything. Now, do I really see him as leading the Avengers? I'm going to politely say no. Sadly, I just feel like he's not ready to be the leader of the Avengers. But at the same time, though, he deserves a better movie. So I'll leave it at that. But I am very interested to see him pop up in other Marvel movies if it is possible. If the story, within the story grasp of it and everything. But I enjoyed him in here. I enjoyed Harrison Ford in here. I enjoyed a lot more what do you call it then? I mean, this is not bad of a movie. It's not Ant-Man and Quantumania as far as I could think of. Ant-Man Quantumania, I expected a lot more, and I just to compare it, that's probably one of the worst MCU movies in my point of opinion and everything. I do wish they really collaborate or do more with Isaiah as far as like action sequences. I really want to see him in action sequences, see him really progress as he has the the super serum, and so like it's really cool to see him really have that character development, which I really did admire and I loved in this movie. But Danny Ramirez, I can't wait to see him. I can't wait to see him in more stuff. He was funny. He kept me entertained. And yeah, I'll leave it at that, guys. This movie would have been a lot better if it was more like Tom Clancy style of government conspiracy and something's within the government is trying to destroy us or something like that. And just, yeah, I really would have enjoyed it a lot more if it was like that.
Correction from earlier before we get to Jane. It's Red, White, and Black was the name of the series. It's a really good series. It's called Truth, Red, White, and Black. Came out in January of 2023. I don't think I read it in 2020. I think I read it like in 2010. But it's a really good pickup for anyone that wants to learn the origin of Isaiah Bradley. It's very realistic of how people would have been
really
treated.
Heavy.
Yeah. And it's very, if it's not something you can't do, that I understand, but it's a really good story, and I would really, really recommend that story. Jane, last overall thoughts on Brave New World.
Yeah, so overall, like I had said at the beginning, I thought it was a very fine film. It was not as bad as a lot of people are making it out to be. It's nowhere near my favorite MCU film by any means, but I had fun with a lot of it. I think it could have been polished in parts. I think other parts were just as good as I would expect from an MCU film. And it also left things open that I actually do want to see. I feel like if the movie was bad, then I wouldn't want to see things falling up from it, but I do want to see things falling up from it. So I think at the end of the day, it did what it needed to do as well as it could given its situation. And I think you really there's a lot you got to factor in when reviewing this film. Just reviewing it on what they give you in the film on face value there is kind of tricky. So yeah, all things considered, I liked it. I will probably give it like a 3 out of 5. I still have to log in on my Letterboxd account, but that's probably what I'm going to end up giving it. And yeah, I do want to see it again to kind of just kind of take it all in, knowing like where it all goes again. But I won't watch it again until it's on Disney Plus. But I thought it was fine.
Well, I do need to see it again because I did miss a couple of minutes because I am in my late 30s and I don't have the bladder that I used to. So I did miss a couple of minutes.
There was a guy, like, I think he was like 2 or 3 rows ahead of me in my showing. He just started snoring during the movie.
Oh, man.
That was my dad. My dad used to snore at every single movie. If you turn the lights off, he's going to bed. So
I forget what part it was. It was some part like in the middle.
See, and this guy I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. And I've seen comments are like, that's a bad no, because you're comfortable in the recliner. I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think that's a bad thing in my point of opinion.
It's not always a bad thing.
No, exactly. No.
So I guess my overall opinion is I do enjoy this movie. I do think it is worth seeing in theaters. It is a popcorn movie, and popcorn movies are fine. They are good. Okay. Now I know we all know that we hold Marvel to the standard of Endgame for every single movie after Endgame, but every single movie after Endgame cannot be Endgame. That's the issue, and that is the realistic point of it. We know that Marvel had a huge pivot point with the issues with Jonathan Majors and the multiverse and things just not going the way that they wanted to, and they've clearly pivoted with having the Russos back on board and everything going to Doomsday instead of to Kang Dynasty. So this movie doesn't need to. I think you can actually necessarily watch this movie without watching Falcon and Winter Soldier and not watching anything after. I think it can be more of a standalone movie because it is meant to be that at this point. This is where the end credits were. This was the beginning of the end credits to get to Doomsday, right? Yes. And it was just talking. It was just introducing the idea, right? That was all they were going to do in this movie. But this movie in itself is good. Like I said, when I finished this movie, I was more confused because I have been hearing nothing but bad stuff for the last 9-10 months, right? But when you get out of it, you're like, I had fun. Like it was worth it. And not only that, I didn't sit in there for 3.5 hours. Like it wasn't. It wasn't like that. I can go. I like going into movies sometimes, going in and out and going home. Like it's okay.
I do not mind that.
Now, if you're not, the reality is, if you're not going to see, if you're one of those like, I am not going to see this movie, you're just not going to see this movie. If you're a Marvel fan, you're going to see this movie. That's the realistic part of it. I know people were saying this, like, regular moviegoers may not go see this movie unless they're big Marvel fans. Okay, like that's pretty much the description of every single Marvel movie that you're going to after basically after phase 1. So if you're not already invested into it, you're gonna go, and that's just it. Like for people that are getting on this movie for the wrong reasons, I want you to look within yourselves and think about, like, am I getting on this because of this, or am I getting on because of that, right? And if you're gonna make an assumption without seeing the movie, then at least say that I didn't see the movie, right? Like
that's bad and not see it.
Yeah, I think one of the comments someone was like, "This is the worst Marvel movie ever. I can't believe they did that." And I was like, "Well, it was like Thursday night they made this comment." I was like, "What did you think of the movie? What did you think of it?" Because I just got out of the theater, and I never got responsive.
Yeah, I mean that's what it is. You have a couple people that disliked it, and then people are like, "Oh, I'm supposed to dislike it then."
So I know I'm supposed to have like overall opinions, but right now I think I'm just fighting in my Facebook comments right now. But like,
fair
but I overall I had fun watching this movie. You're gonna have fun watching this movie. If you like, I agree with Ryan what he said. Like, if you have your last $15, are you gonna go see this movie? No, you're not.
Are you gonna buy? Let me ask you this: are you gonna buy that? What is it? A dozen eggs, or are you gonna go see a movie to go see? Like, it's like what? I remember this. I remember that, but it wasn't that dozen eggs. But in Johnny Cash, I Walk the Line. He tells him straight up that scene is so beautiful with him walking, and he's like, "You're telling me on your last day on Earth, you're gonna sing that song? That's the song you'll sing about the like." It's just that scene, like, it's just why I became a movie critic, and it's just like it really like, are you really gonna spend? Are you gonna your last $15 or $14, however much it costs in wherever state you're in? Are you gonna go see this movie, or are you gonna go, buy food or something else? That's what matters at the end of the day. Yeah. And yeah, I get it. People want to compare it to Endgame and everything, but I'm just like, no, this ain't Endgame. But at the same time, though, you gotta. It already had a full grown template already. It already had something that really relate to. So.
I do recommend seeing it in theaters. I there's some movies, like I remember one movie I wish I saw in theaters was the Godzilla versus Kong, or Kong versus whatever that movie that came out. I wish I saw that in theaters, but that was COVID.
That was the one where it went straight to streaming same day, right? Yeah.
I wish. I remember me and my wife were talking, like, when we were watching it at home, like, we wish we saw that in theaters. Like,
so I saw it in theater. I started the first 30 minutes on Max, and I was like, I'm gonna go see the movie theater. So we went to the movie theater and we went to go see. I was all like, I was because they were like, oh yeah, it just. There was literally, like, I think another couple, and it was like farther down, so we just sat like further away. So it just, at the time we didn't know, but yeah, it was that one. I think Tenet was another one too that we saw during.
I've never seen Tenet. I've never seen Tenet.
I started to see that too.
Yeah, but yeah, I wanted more out of it, but it is what it is, and just we gotta get through this hard time.
It's not as bad as Venom 3. I will tell you.
Oh no, yeah. Oh my God, Venom 3. That's another bad one. Or Venom. Okay, I have to say though, I haven't liked any of the Venom movies. I hate to say that. I know. I'm sorry. I haven't. I like
the first one the best. I think.
I think they're all stupid without Spider-Man.
Yeah, but I mean, the first one is okay. Like, everything after that is just like,
miscast Woody Harrelson, and I'm a fan of Woody Harrelson, and
me too.
Like, he's a fantastic actor, and him to take that red hair wig or whatever he had to pay, I was like, God, I know it's so fake. Like, it's like, just leave him bald. Like, don't even try. Don't even try to make him that character.
Don't even get me started on Sony's nonsense.
Yeah, but it's finally over. Hopefully, it's finally over. So yeah, hopefully, right? But yeah, no, I can't wait to see what more stuff is coming out in movies, because of the fact that we're at an age where TV shows are so much fucking better than movies right now, and it's sad to say that. Yeah. It's sad, and I hate that. I hate that with a passion. We saw a series like The Penguin that came out last year, which is fantastic, beautiful, but it came from a movie. So it's just like, you kind of have to recognize that as well. Yeah. But at the same time, though, we're getting to an age where TV shows are just outranking movies, and the audience, like us, we expect more out of the movies. Yeah. Now we add value to that dollar, every dollar spent now. Before, we would just go to see, oh, it's a Marvel movie, let's go see it. Now it's like, well, let me see what critics are saying. Let me see what this person's saying. And we've gone to that age of movie nonsense. We're like, go see it for yourself. Have your own opinion about it. Yes, you can listen to other stuff just like we do. Just listen to our opinions on it. But go check out a movie, man. Go check out the film, because at the end of the day, as long as you enjoyed it, that's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? Like,
very well said.
Yeah, that's all that matters. And I love talking about movies with you guys and with everyone. Just in general, because in the end of the day, this what brings us together. Filmmaking or Power Rangers, like you guys. I was really telling, I was like, man, I don't know anything about Power Rangers besides. I loved Lost Galaxy. That's my favorite one. But yeah, I'll just leave it like that.
I would have expected you to say that, honestly.
Yeah,
I would have thought like first season and that's it. And,
no, Lost Galaxy. I fucking love Power Rangers.
It's like me and Jane know. Like, anytime we hear anybody knows anything besides Mighty Morphin,
I was just gonna say that. Yeah, if you name any season to me that's like not Mighty Morphin or like Zeo or something, I'm like, What? You know what that is?
Yeah. I went SPD emergency.
There we go. Look at you.
I'm not gonna brag, but Serena Vincent hugged me without me asking her.
Whoa.
Just saying.
Oh man! And then
what was called me on Instagram?
Nice. And then what was the other? Where the only one that pissed me off? Bad storytelling. Go to Power Rangers. Sorry. The only thing that pissed me off was that Zeo. If I'm correct me if I'm wrong, because you guys would know more than I would. But Zeo, they fucking failed, so they went to space.
That was
right?
Turbo.
Oh, Turbo. Yeah. I'm sorry, Turbo. Then they fucked up and they were like, oh shit, we lost. Let's go to space and try to.
That's what
right. Okay, that's what it was.
Let's leave.
Let's leave Earth because we messed up. It's like, okay.
Even then, they still have the Zeo powers there because what happened to it? Because they just like one day we're like, we're just gonna change.
We're just done.
Yeah, right. Okay, I was all like, what? I wasn't the only one.
Had backup powers there. They just didn't use them.
Exactly.
So, yeah. I was so surprised you said Lost Galaxy. I just thought you were.
I know. That's yeah.
Really? Oh, okay. Yes. I love Lost Galaxy, man. That's my favorite.
Awesome, man.
That's my favorite. And then, of course, when I grew up more, it was what was the other one?
First time
Lightspeed Rescue.
Lightspeed.
Yeah, that I love that one because it brought more relatable jobs and relatable like because the Red Ranger is a firefighter. It brought more relatable, brought it down to earth against demons, which makes sense because at that time horror films was kind of like so it made sense.
Right. Did you say SPD earlier?
SPD emergency, yeah.
Yep.
We're out there, Jane. Like
I know.
It's one of those things. Like it's one of those back in the day. Like I don't know, for me, like you like Star Wars, like you know what I mean. Like almost like that. Right now.
It is like that.
I've been having this feeling since probably like.
I love Lightspeed Rescue. Probably second tier because of the fact that the Silver Ranger's named Ryan, so it's Ryan. Ryan.
Fair
so I love that, and I love stories where like they connect. Oh, he's the bad Ranger. He's the bad boy. Oh yeah, he's the bad boy.
Did you know that the Titanium Ranger was the very first American-made Ranger?
No, I did not know that.
There's no Japanese footage of the Titanium Ranger. That's why we didn't see a lot of the Titanium Ranger.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No wonder he didn't come out till episodes later. Yeah, I still
rewatch it. Grainy. All that footage looks better than the other footage.
That explains why the Red Ranger couldn't handle it. That explains it.
Got it.
It's too Americanized. Power. Yeah, but yeah, like what do you call it? Lost Galaxy is my favorite. The Magna Defender was my was definitely not my favorite Ranger. I love the Red Ranger, but Magna Defender was my cousin's actually favorite Ranger.
Yeah, so totally fair.
That's awesome, man.
And I love his story arc. I loved it. I'm a sucker for the underdog. I really am. I'm a sucker for underdog stories where they go through this journey and their pivot to where like they have to choose life or death, and sometimes they choose wrong, and they have to, bring back a anti-hero almost in a sense,
chosen, but they don't know why they're chosen.
Defender, they killed his kid. In the Lost Galaxy was out there. What the template was. It probably hasn't gone back to that since then.
Was it true, if I'm not mistaken? Carl, correct me, because again, you guys know more. Was it true that this is the first Power Rangers that did not have any connection to Zordon?
Lost Galaxy.
It was Zordon already died, but
kinda.
We call it Zordon era because they had the In Space Rangers did the crossover.
Yeah, they did the crossover, right? Yeah. So the season finale, right?
Technically had a connection.
The Lost Galaxy season connects to the Zordon era, but the Lost Galaxy team is like the first one to not be
without Zordon,
without his mentorship or power. Oh, okay, gotcha. Because it's technically like the chosen people.
No, there was at one point going to be a connection. The original script for Lost Galaxy was gonna say that Zordon was the one who put the sabers in the
that actually would have been pretty cool because he's like,
they've done that like 10 times.
Okay.
They use that idea other places.
That
would have been cool.
Boo! I was kidding.
It would have been cool to see a human Zordon put those sabers.
Would have been cool.
Or I guess not a human, but like a actual physical
right.
And I know I always see you post about the what do you call it, the new or the last Power Rangers movie and everything. I know I always see you post about it, man. I always see your post. Dude, I actually enjoyed it. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It reminded me of like Iron Man suits. Like it was just different. It was something. And Bryan Cranston in there as Zordon was fucking amazing. Like, oh my god, I loved him as Zordon.
Cast, they could never get that cast back.
Yeah, that cast is, and I'm just like, they, at the end of the day though, like I hate to say it, but it's just like Power Ranger fans do not show up in the movie theaters, man. They don't. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't. It sucks. And I'm just like mad because I'm just like, man, they need to make another Power Rangers movie. And I don't know, give it to James Gunn. I'm just saying.
Well, what we're hearing is Paramount. Paramount got it. So,
but Paramount avoided bankruptcy last year. It just they keep.
Dude, we've been dealing for Saban for the last 30 years. We're fine with Paramount. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
we are okay.
Right.
Well, I mean, I feel like it's at the state where James Bond is. Yeah, it's like
right now we see everything they're doing with Sonic, and we're kind of just like, take those. I take that it doesn't have to be like the stamp and paste, but take that creativity over there, and that's where we're kind of open right now. So, but we'll see. A lot of the fandom is very broken right now. I would have to say.
Yeah,
when are we not?
Yeah, I feel like, but I feel like a guy like the Legacy Nerd who could bring it all together. That's all I'm saying. I mean, if you have not already, because you surprised the hell out of me whenever so much of a following, and you got it from a lot of Power Rangers. So I'm just like, dude, the fan base is there.
It's there.
It's there. And I'm just like Star Wars and Harry Potter, those famous IPs. It's just like it's there, but it needs to make it on the big screen, and so
I think that's like me and Jane, our role as Power Ranger influencers, that's where we come in, and that's what wasn't really going on in 2017. There was only a couple back then. Now there's like
there's a lot now.
Yeah, there's a lot more.
Way more.
That would be where we could do, but we're going to be honest at the same time. So we're going to be,
of course, yeah.
Awesome. Whatever it is, we support the brand, and at the same time we
for better or for worse,
we support our fandom as well. So
that's right.
We're not going to steer our fandom the wrong way. I told Jane a story early before we got on camera that I can't really talk about of something I declined to do because I did not think it was good for the fandom.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Hey.
And it would have been good for me as a professional, but I just said no. So.
Hey man, it's your channel. Do what you please, man. That's all I'm saying, and that's the beauty of our voices of each of our channels is that we have that voice, and no one can take it away from you. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. So unless you get copyright strike. I'm just kidding. And I'm just kidding. I'm totally joking. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's just keep your fandom alive and do love what you love. I'll say that,
Right.
Absolutely.
Well, that comes to the end of our stream, guys. Ryan, why don't you take the stage, kind of talk about yourself and anything that you may have coming up?
Yeah, man. Hey, guys, how you doing, everybody? If you have not already, if you have not heard of Alamo City Movie Talk, guys, be sure to check us out. We got few movie reviews coming out later next week, and then we're about to start talking one of our, I know, TV shows is coming out. TV shows are coming out right now, so check it out, guys. We'll be talking about the adult show, The White Lotus, which is on Max, guys. It's premiered yesterday. And we'll be talking about Love is Blind on the Island of Reality podcast with JC and Tina. We'll be talking about that this coming weekend. Be sure to check that out. Love is Blind new season just came out, guys. And we cannot wait to talk about what he said, she said, all of it said, all the drama. It's coming, guys. So be sure to check us out on Island of Reality podcast and Alamo City Movie Talk, guys, for your movie reviews and everything movie related, man. We love talking about everything fandoms from Star Wars to to Marvel cinematic movies and my favorite DC movies that's coming up this late. Superman, cannot wait. So, all right, guys, stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good one. I'm Ryan D.
Awesome. Oh, it took me solo. Why did it take me solo? Oh. And then Jane, I just want to say real quick, I am getting used to the name, so I'm sorry about.
Oh yeah, no, you're so good. I'm getting used to the name, so you're fine.
All right, man. Take us out.
All right, so yeah, you can find me on YouTube at Toku Topics is my main channel, and trying to post some stuff there when I can or when I'm able in the mood for it and such. So that's my most active channel. Just posted a Go Juju video the other day since that Sentai season just started. And then there's going to be some G.I. Joe stuff coming up in March that Hasbro's doing. So I'll be covering that on my second channel. Too Many Topics. Be sure to check that out. And yeah, just taking things one day at a time here, but we're trying. So that's it.
Awesome, man. And then lastly, guys, we actually do have another live stream on Sunday. We have Justin Nemo that'll be joining us live here. So you guys know the original Silver Ranger from Power Rangers in Space. We'll be here. We'll be talking to him. We'll have Morphin Legacy, Jay from Morphin Legacy on.
Oh, nice.
we're gonna have Ethan Trace will be here as well. So Ethan Trace is a voice actor and a big, Power Rangers fan as well. So yeah, guys, so make sure to be here for that. We're doing a Goldar Super 7 giveaway that we got donated to the channel. So make sure to go to Instagram to learn how to enter for that. I think I actually have an extra in space Silver Ranger Lightning Collection solo one, and I'll be giving that away if I can find it. No, it's over there. And that one is, if you guys know in the fandom, it's not completely as rare as it was before, but still pretty rare. So
yeah, it's up there.
It's up there. So it's definitely like a $60 figure. But guys, I appreciate you guys for being here. Thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks for talking Power Rangers, Captain America, Marvel, Sesame Street. Like, I'm sorry, dude. It's totally in my head right now. It's you guys are gonna be a parent with me now. That's just how
we covered it all.
Everyone is just on the ride with me. So I appreciate you guys for being here. And we will see you next time, guys. See you guys Sunday with Just an Email. Y'all have a good one.
See ya.